What is empathy? The Oxford Dictionary says that empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. I believe this to be a very simplified version of what empathy really is. I think when people talk about empathy or think about empathy, they're talking about emotive empathy, with less of a focus given to the other types of empathy. And I believe this to be why a lot of people seem to mix up sympathy and empathy. A lot of people, when posed with the plight of others, seem to immediately go to feeling sorry for them, feeling pity, trying to help them maybe, but not truly understanding why they feel the way they feel. This is why I believe that people fundamentally misunderstand what it means to be empathetic. My interpretation of empathy is to truly understand what makes one a person, why they act the way they act, say the things they say, and think the things they think. And I believe by being empathetic in this way and understanding others, we can improve ourselves as individuals. I want to bring up an example of what I believe it is to be empathetic. And forewarning, I will be using a pretty heavy subject for some as an example. Take person A. They have had a life of familial neglect and abuse. This is a person who anyone can sympathize with. We can feel sorry for their situation, sorry for the fact that it even needed to happen in the first place, and sorry for the long-term effects that this type of childhood would have. And when talking about experience, sympathy sometimes is the only thing that's required. But the discussion changes when you're talking about values and mindset. Take person B. By all accounts, they have had an ideal childhood, a family that is stable, and a family that loves them. When discussing the value of family in one's life, these two people are likely to be diametrically opposed. Person A, through their lived experience, will probably put a lot more weight into their chosen family, while person B, on the other hand, through their lived experience, will probably put a lot more weight into their given family. These two people and their values are dictated by their own experiences. There is no right and wrong in this discussion. There is no debate to be had. And it's likely that if you sit these two people down and get them to discuss such a topic with a closed-off mind, it will turn into more of an argument than a discussion. However, for the sake of this discussion, and for the sake of this example, I will say that both of these people sit down at the same table with an open mind to one's experiences. When given this example to most, I believe that most people would give more empathy towards the one that comes from a pitiable and unfortunate circumstance. This, I believe, completely misrepresents what it means to be empathetic. These two sit down at a table to discuss the value of family. Person A talks about their experience at the hand of abuse, and person B comes to the understanding that they have gotten their opinion on family through their experience. Person B is in no place to debate the topic with person A, nor should they. Person B then shares their experience in a loving and supporting household. Person A can come to the understanding that they have gotten their opinion on family through their experience. Person A is in no position to debate the topic with person B, nor should they. Both of them come away with a new perspective on someone else's life, a new viewpoint, a new opinion. And while it's very likely that their opinions have not changed, the deeper understanding of someone else and their experience will make them come out of the scenario a better person. This is what I believe it means to truly be empathetic. To understand, to listen, and to not necessarily see eye to eye. We are all individuals at the end of the day. We all have different beliefs, different opinions, different ways of doing things. But the reality of the matter is that we only ever see our own perspective. We only live one lifetime. But how does one learn? From the very beginning of childhood, you're learning through the experiences of others. But there's no reason that that should end in childhood. It is important as people that we learn to be empathetic, because that is how we learn through the perspectives of others. If we shut off discussions with others due to the fear that they will hurt us, or maybe make us look at something in a different way, then we are only hurting ourselves. We must not only empathize with the pitiable and unfortunate, otherwise those are the only ideas that we empathize with. We must empathize with everyone. Everyone has a unique perspective, Everyone has experiences through their lives that we can learn from and become better people from. But if we shut people down, don't allow them to speak, and don't allow ourselves to be open to understanding, then I believe we become the definition of what it is to be unempathetic. We need to be open to hearing the opinions and viewpoints of others, because this is how we grow as people, and that's what the next video will be on. Stay tuned.